What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your man Chaz Ellis once again giving you the information that you asked me for. I want y'all to know to go ahead and hit up askchazzellis on Facebook. Also, I want you guys to go to the askchazzellisproject.com. And for some of y'all that got the live chats and everything, that's going to be coming out next Tuesday. So just kind of check out for that. Live chats are going to be coming out. And it's going to be cool. Also, be ready because there is going to be a dating class coming to a city near you. I'm going to be doing that, so be ready for some of y'all. Leave comments in the box below. Some of y'all are interested in that, but there's going to be signs for that. That's coming soon. Anyway, I was talking to a friend of mine. She had a question about a guy that she felt was lying to her. She just felt like he was telling her lies about what he does or whatever the case was. He might be telling you he might be cheating or he might have another girl or something like that. She didn't know exactly what the situation was because a lot of his story was inconsistent. Now, a lot of us have been in a situation like that where we have been dealing with somebody and we feel like their story is inconsistent at best. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, man, that person's telling me stuff, but I don't really know. And, you know, sometimes you don't know if people are lying to you. So what I came up with here, and it was as I was talking to her, is the 5 signs that somebody is lying about who they are. And once you notice somebody's lying about who they are, it's pretty easy to figure out what they're lying about. The first thing, you never see the same thing twice. When you have a person that's lying to you about who they are, what they do, what the relationship status is, something like that, most of the time, they come out with stuff and you don't see it again. Like, for instance, they'll come with a nice watch on and you're like, oh, that watch was really nice. And then you never see the watch again. Or you may see it one other time, or they might have another watch the next time you see them. You're like, I never see this watch. Or they say they roll up in a nice car and you never see that car again. It mysteriously breaks down and they never get it back. You're like, who does that? They're driving a friend's car the next week. They're driving their brother's car the week after that. They're driving their sister's car, their aunt's or something like. You just never see the same stuff twice. So it's hard to figure out what they really have or what's really going on. And that's a red flag when you don't see the same thing twice. Because most people, if it really is their car or if it really was their watch or whatever the case may be, they generally keep using that or they do have it. Another big one, they never let you come to their house. When you have somebody who doesn't allow you to come to their house, because in life, there are certain things that are really hard to fake. If you're in a relationship with somebody else, if you're not really doing what you say you're doing, you're like, yeah, man, I'm a big music producer and I'm making $1 million a year doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest things in the world is hard to fake is your house, where you live. Because if you live with somebody else, usually people can tell. It's like, well, you got other pictures of other people hung up here. The decorations don't really they don't go with who you are as a person. So that's something you run into where it's like, it's very difficult to fake a house. You know, you walk into the house, you're like, wait a minute. Why is your living room pink? Bruh, I thought you said you was rapping. What? You got a pink living room? You got flower patterns up in this mud? I'm not getting it. Who are these people on the wall? You know, they're like, they're my family. You know, see, I keep them on the wall. You know, see, to remind me where I come from. You see, like, this is my crib, though. You know what I mean? This me. I promise you that. But you know for a fact that don't look right. So they're not going to let you over their house for that reason because they know it's not going to look right. So when someone doesn't let you over their house, that's a big red flag. Number 3, you never meet anybody they know. And the only person you might meet that they know is the person that was with them the day you met them. That's a red flag because people don't want you to meet people they know because they will shoot holes in their story. If I'm telling somebody a lie, like, you know, hey, Doc, I've been single for like the last 3 years. For real. And then you meet my mama, and then she's like, Oh, I'm so glad that y'all together, baby. Because, you know, that girl he was dating last week, he had been with her for like 10 years. And they just broke up last week. And the kids was all upset. And all 5 of them was mad, you know. And they was sad because, you know, they had thought their mama and daddy was going to stay together forever. You know? I hope that the divorce does become final. And he can move on with his life. And you're like, what the... He told me he been single for years. What? But that's why they don't want you to meet people that they know. Because, you know, when you meet people, when someone meets people you know, they just going to tell whatever story. They going to tell your business most of the time, or at least some of it. Because they don't know they're supposed to lie. It's hard to convince your mama that she's supposed to lie for you. You know, she think you telling people the truth. So that's why they don't want you to meet anybody. So that's a big red flag you got to watch out for. Never meeting anybody they know. That usually tells you that somebody's lying to you about something. Number 4. You realize that not any of the information that they have given you has been verified or can really be verified. Here's a for instance. You talk to the person, they like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got a job, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I do got a job, you know what I'm saying? But like, where I work at, where do I work? Oh yeah, I work for the city. You know what I mean? I work for the city. And what do I do for this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I work in contract for the city. You know what I'm saying? I do contract for the city. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I make pretty good money at it. I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight. I'm doing straight. That's really what it boiled down to. You know what I'm saying? God have blessed me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing straight. And then you look and you think to yourself, you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. He said it. He worked for the city. You know, said all this other stuff, and you're like, wait a minute. What? He didn't even tell me what city he worked for. He said he worked for the city. He didn't even say he worked for this city. He didn't tell me what department he worked for. He said he was doing contracts for the city. I don't know nothing about this dude. Like, and you'll look, and it may be 6 months to a year later, you might realize that you really have not verified anything that this person told you. You can't verify anything this person tells you. You might sit here and go, hey, you said you work for the city. They said that you don't work for the city. Oh, I ain't sure I work for this city. I should work for this city. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't work for this city. I work for another city that's kind of far away. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you all up in my business, though? So, you know, it's like, you realize you can't verify anything. That's a red flag. When somebody tells you stuff and there's no way you can verify it because it's not really specific enough to verify, or because it's far away, it's so far away, it's so far out there, that's something that really should tell you, red flag. It's probably not true. Number 5, this is the last one. When your lifestyle just simply does not match up with what you're telling people. You're supposed to be a record producer, but you rode to my house on a scooter. You're supposed to be a doctor, but I had a cold and you was like, oh, you got a cold? Man, you probably, you know what I'm saying, hit yourself on the chest with a dead fish and put an onion in a sock and hang it above the door. You be all right. You know, that's not adding up. Those things don't add up when somebody's knowledge and lifestyle doesn't add up with what they've been telling you. They're telling you that they're single, but yet you can never go out on a date in their hometown. That doesn't make sense. Like, why do we have to go all the way out here if you're supposed to be single? That doesn't make sense. So the lifestyle just doesn't add up. Everything they're telling you, it's not really working that way. Like, they're sitting here talking about, you know, shit, I've been doing this stuff for like 10 years, you see, and I make all this money, you see, I'm balling. Can I borrow $8 real quick for this cab? You know what I'm saying? No, I left my wallet. I left my wallet. Can I borrow $8 or not? What's up? You know, like, what kind of person is making good money like that is borrowing $8 from you? I mean, it doesn't make sense. So those are things you have to look at. Now, the reason why we get fooled by people a lot of times is, I'm telling you a lot of this stuff and it sounds funny, but when we get this crazy information, people look at it like, oh, why would you get fooled by that? But that's because I told you in 30 seconds. I told you every lie this person told me over a 6-month period in 30 seconds. They told it to me over 6 months. And they had other stuff that made me believe what they were saying was true over a 6-month period. Yeah, you can easily break something down in 30 seconds and say, yeah, that's clearly bullcrap because I'm telling you every major lie they told. So that's why we fall for stuff a lot of times, because we get the information slowly, and by the time we start adding it up in our head, we're now emotionally invested and don't want to believe the results. So not that we're stupid, not that we're naive, as much as it is once you start getting all the information, you're emotionally invested and don't want to believe the results. So what do you do about it? You have to, first of all, gather your knowledge. This is not really necessarily even for them or to prove anything. But what you want to do is you want to do that so that you can no longer fool yourself. Because this is your enemy. It's not their lies that's your enemy. It's yourself. And you lying to you. So you want to gather all the knowledge you can. Google them. Stuff that they told you. Try to verify as much as you possibly can. Ask questions. Even if you got to talk to them, ask a few little small questions and stuff like that to get more information that you can verify. Get what you need. Get that mountain of evidence that you're going to need. It don't have to be a ridiculously big mountain. It can be a small little mountain. But get you a little bit of evidence that you can come with and say, okay, now whatever this person tells me, if it does not match with what I already know to be a fact, I'm not going to buy it. Then you directly confront the person. Hey, here's some things you told me. I'm feeling like this is not true. Can you explain this? And when they explain it to you, don't believe, first of all, pin them to a direct answer. Regardless if it's a crazy answer or what, pin them to a direct answer. And when you get that direct answer, don't believe anything that you don't verify. Because that's where you keep getting lied to. People will be able to explain anything. Oh, well, this happened because of this happened because of that. But if you don't believe anything you can't verify, and you pin them to direct answers, what ends up happening is usually they crumble under that pressure. And they start telling you the truth. Or you stop believing them because, it's hard to verify a lie. So that's you start catching them in their lies and you stop believing it. And then you stop fooling yourself into believing it because now you have so much evidence. Hopefully I was able to help you out. Once again, it's your man Chaz Ellis. Make sure you hit me up on Ask Chaz Ellis on Facebook. Also, go to the askchazzellisproject.com and hit me up there also. Once again, make sure you share this with people, especially if you feel like somebody's being lied to or something like that. Make sure you share it with them. Also, like and subscribe. Peace.